All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call to order this regular meeting for the Economic Development Commission on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you, Commissioners. Ms. Miranda, the roll call, please.
Good evening, Honorable Chair. I will proceed with taking the roll call. Prior to doing so, if it is at the pleasure of the Commission, we can excuse Commissioner Chang, who is not present today. To do so would take a majority consensus of the Economic Development Commission. Do I have a majority consensus to excuse Commissioner Chang?
We're good with that? Commissioner Hugh? Yes? Yes, we have consensus.
Yes.
Thank you. With that, I will proceed with taking roll call this evening. Commissioner Chang noted absent and excused for the record. Commissioner Taglay?
Present.
Vice Chair Hu? Chair Reyes?
Present.
All commissioners noted present with the exception of Commissioner Chang. Thank you.
All right. Agenda item number 4, presentation of a plaque. Ms. Miranda.
Thank you, Chair Reyes. At this time, we'll move to item 4, presentation of plaque. This evening, we have the honor of recognizing outgoing Chair Alfred Reyes Jr. for his service as Chair of the Economic Development Commission. I would like to take this time to thank outgoing Chair Reyes for an incredible term of service as Chair of the newly reestablished Economic Development Commission. During your time as Chair of the Commission, you have successfully led this Commission and staff through valuable discussions and steps towards great economic development efforts in the City of Cerritos. On behalf of City staff, we very much appreciate your support and enthusiasm for our business community and the Cerritos community as a whole. Thank you for presiding over us during your time as Chair with such great passion for Cerritos. And at this time, it is our pleasure to present you with a plaque. If you would please join me at the stage. And following that, we welcome the members of the Commission to join you for a photo. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Chair Reyes, for your
Thanks.
term of service. This is for presiding over us since September through April 2026. So thank you so much for your service.
Thank
We
you.
greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Miranda. I
Yes.
appreciate it so much.
Thank you. And if you would like to join him for a photo, I'll take a photo. of the
Picture time,
commissioners.
picture time.
Good to work with you.
I feel like we're all retiring and we're not. We're coming back. Like, we're not really going anywhere, but all right.
Ready?
I feel like not as many people came to your party.
I know, exactly.
1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you
Awesome.
very
Thank you
much.
so
Good
much.
job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Miranda and city staff. That was quite unexpected. It really was. I was not ready for that. So I am kind of speechless. I will comment, though, that I'm very happy to serve on this commission in any capacity whatsoever. And as we just talked about in our pre-meeting briefings, I don't think people realize out in the public arena how valuable this commission is. And it's valuable not just because we get to serve the city of Cerritos, but the wealth of knowledge we have on this commission. Besides myself, I think Vice Chair Hugh brings decades of business leadership to this commission. We are talking constantly about ways to improve Cerritos, create more revenues, while still maintaining as low a tax base as humanly possible. And her input with respect to business matters is invaluable. Mr. Chang, who's not here tonight, he had an emergency he had to attend to. His ideas on return on investment and making sure that the city receives all that it's entitled to with respect to business licensing and revenue sources is invaluable. These are the kind of things that go on behind the scenes with Vice Chair Hugh and Commissioner Chang that benefit all citizens of Cerritos greatly. And to my left, Commissioner Taglay, and I'm not afraid to admit it, I am very good at marketing. Commissioner Taglay is better. He's just better. I come up with ideas and we should do this and we should market this and we're going to present it to council and present it to the mayor. And he goes, well, that's good. We should do this instead, or we should do this on top of that. I'm like, yeah, your idea is better. And so that's just kind of the way it works with this commission. And I couldn't do my job and hopefully continue to do my job on this commission without the support I have with the commissioners to my right and to my left. I think, this is not to demean anyone else or anyone else's, but I really like this commission. We talk all the time. We have great ideas for increasing revenues in the city, which is what we should be doing. We should be, how can we support businesses? How can we bring in more revenue? And I look forward to continuing on this commission as long as my fellow commissioners and the citizens will have me. So again, thank you, Ms. Miranda. Thank you to Mr. Taglay, Vice Chair Hugh, and Commissioner Chang, who's not here. And just for the record, I'm assuming that we'll have the 5th chair filled when that comes up sooner rather than later. So the more brain power, the better. Okay, Ms. Miranda, moving on. Number 5.
Thank you. Item 5 is the annual reorganization of the Economic Development Commission. I hereby declare the position of Chair of the Economic Development Commission vacant. At this time, I would like to call for nominations from the Commission for the position of Chair. Do I have any nominations?
Yes, I do.
yes.
I really want to support Aris Tango to be the person, to be the chair. Nominate.
Okay.
I
Thank
nominate
you.
him.
Thank you, Commissioner Hu. Do I have a second?
Second yourself.
Sorry, I think Commissioner Taglay had something to say, but thank you for the nomination.
I have a nomination also, but go ahead and proceed.
Okay, absolutely. You can provide your nomination.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Mr. Alfred Reyes.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Okay. Thank you. So I have Commissioner Reyes nominated by Commissioner Taglay and seconded by Commissioner Reyes. At this time, I will activate electronic voting to take a vote, confirming Commissioner Reyes as Chair of the Economic Development Commission. Okay, electronic voting is activated on your screen.
Is that right?
I think so. Yep, perfect.
Thank you. With a vote of 3-0, I now call Commissioner Reyes as Chair of the Economic Development Commission. Congratulations, Chair Reyes.
Thank you to my fellow commissioners. I just need to know, do I need to give the plaque back now?
No.
That's right.
I think I have to give the plaque back now. No, it's an honor. Thank you, Commissioner Taglay. Thank you, Commissioner Hugh. This is a pleasure to serve on this commission. There's so many great ideas and so much brain power up here. And we're constantly thinking of ways to revitalize and reinvigorate our business community and help them in any way we possibly can. So again, I accept the appointment, and we're going to get back to work. So,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Miranda.
Thank you. In just a moment, we will take a slight recess to reorganize at the dais as necessary. But before doing so at this time, I would like to also declare the position of Vice Chair vacant and call for any nominations for Vice Chair of the Economic Development Commission. Do I have any nominations for the position of Vice Chair?
Yes, I do. I still nominate Aris Tango to be the vice chair.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second yourself. Yeah, take it. It's up to you.
Yeah, no problem.
Ken, I'll nominate Ken. Okay, go ahead.
I have a nomination also.
Okay, yes.
I would nominate Ken Chung.
Okay. Thank you. Do I have a second
And
for
I
the
will
nomination?
I will second that.
Seconded. Okay. Okay, do I have any subsequent motions? No? Okay. At this time, I will activate electronic voting for Commissioner Kenneth Chang, nominated by Commissioner Tagle and seconded by Chair Reyes for the position of Vice Chair. Okay, electronic voting is active. Thank you. With a vote of 3-0, I now call Commissioner Chang as Vice Chair of the Economic Development Commission. Congratulations to Commissioner Chang. Thank you very much. At this time, we will take a brief recess to reorganize at the dais and retitle the seats. Thank you.
I hold us in recess for a few minutes. Okay, we are officially back in session. Number 6, public comments. Section is reserved for public comment on the consent calendar and items not listed on the agenda, but that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of this commission. Verbal comments are limited to 3 minutes, subject to the chair extending for a maximum of 5 minutes per speaker. Do I have anyone here for public comments this evening? No. Seeing none, I will close public comment. Item 7, consent calendar. Items listed on the consent calendar are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. In this case, 7A, approval of minutes. Do I have a motion for approval? Yeah, I guess.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for approval of the minutes from the Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 Economic Development Commission meeting. I think we vote.
Yes, electronic voting is active.
Oh, there we go. Okay, let's vote.
And the motion passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miranda. Item 8, new and old business. 8A, review and consideration of an information report regarding the programs and services provided by the Gateway Cities Council of Governments. Do we have a speaker, Ms. Miranda?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair and members of the Economic Development Commission. This evening, we are honored to have with us Transportation Analyst of the Gateway Cities Council of Governments, Patrick Lewis, who will provide an informational report regarding the programs and services provided by the Gateway Cities COG. At this time, I would like to invite Transportation Analyst Patrick Lewis to the podium for this presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Lewis. Thank you for coming tonight.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
You have the floor.
Wonderful. Great. So, hi, I'm Patrick Lewis from the Gateway Cities Council of Governments. And tonight I'm just going to be presenting a few updates from the Gateway Cities Council of Governments related to economic development, as they, that is the topic of interest here tonight. So I'm sure we have some ideas and areas where there's collaboration involved. So why don't we go to the next slide? I'll start with a quick background on the Gateway Cities COG. We're probably all very familiar with the COG, but just in case, the COG is a voluntary joint powers authority that is comprised of 27 member cities and parts of unincorporated LA County. Within the COG area, there are over 2 million people, and our focus is on 5 separate policy areas. The first is transportation, followed by economic development, homelessness and housing, air quality and climate, and health and wellness, which is a new policy area for us. And you can see a map to the right showing the Gateway Cities subregion. We can go to the next slide. And so the Council of Governments for each program and project and initiative is first a forum, second a planner, third a consensus builder, and fourth an advocate. So that's just how the COG prioritizes and works through each program and project. Next slide, please. So the COG has an economic development working group that was recently established. And so the goal of the economic development working group is to increase employment within the Gateway Cities region by encouraging job creation and retention activities. Now, this economic development working group meets virtually, semi-monthly via Zoom. So that's every other month, typically. And it includes member cities, LA County, Gateway Cities COG staff, LAEDC, Norwalk Chamber of Commerce, Celico Workforce Development Board, Southern California Edison, and other organizations. Discussion includes important member issues, things brought by committee members, or working group members, regional projects, sales tax proposals, and new member recruitment. There's actually active recruitment going on for new members, as we would like to include all of our Gateway Cities and workforce groups. Next slide, please. Another area that I'm presenting on today is the regional fiber optic network, which you may have heard about, currently under construction within the Gateway Cities. So the Gateway Cities regional fiber optic network is going to be a state-of-the-art $103 million network, and it will route through 25 of the 27 Gateway Cities COG communities. It'll connect to each city hall from 2 directions for redundancy, and what it does is it closes the digital divide for residents. It provides economic development opportunities, and what it's going to do is connect city facilities to better to lead to better access to education, healthcare, job opportunities, and improve local government. At the end, there will be 10 gigabits per second upload and download speeds for end users, and it is being implemented at no cost to member cities. So it's actually funded in partnership with the California Department of Technology via the State Middle Mile Broadband Initiative and a grant from the CPUC managed Last Mile federal funding account. And it is anticipated to complete, or it must complete, by the end of the year, December 2026. Next slide, please. And so this is just a rendering. This is not a current status, but this is a rendering of the conceptual network design just to help visualize. This is from the broadband master plan. And so you can just see the digital backbone in connection to and from and through each of our gateway cities and communities. Next slide, please. And so this is a project status update. And so recently, this is, I believe, from last week. And so you can see upcoming cities that work is actually in the ground, in the roadways, being dug up in several communities. So in this month of May 2026, the City of Commerce, Compton, Downey, and Paramount have upcoming work. And ongoing work is the middle column, so Bellflower, Cudahy, Hawaiian Gardens, quite a substantial list of cities where there's already active construction. And then remaining cities on the right, you'll see Cerritos is listed in the remaining cities, so you may not have seen in the community extensive construction yet, but because of because of the short timeline within the calendar year, you definitely will. It's coming soon for sure. And I believe the latest status of the overall construction is 25% in the ground, 25% complete. So that is a significant milestone, and it'll only be increasing. So great work from the crews, and there's a lot going on. Next slide, please. And so the third topic that I wanted to touch on is the Gateway Cities Regional Workforce Development Collaborative. So the Regional Workforce Collaborative, or the RWDC, will convene workforce development service providers to better understand workforce needs, share and promote resources, streamline the pipeline to employment, and cultivate economic prosperity and increase economic mobility in Southeast Los Angeles County. And it has a focus of a few specific target industries, so green jobs, allied health, IT support, logistics, local government jobs are all of the focus industries for the RWDC. Next slide. And so these are the key points or columns within the RWDC. So deliverables include surveys, a needs assessment, resource hubs, a final report, as well as providing collaborative recruitment. So collaborative recruitment includes the RWDC will contact relevant public and not-for-profit workforce development organizations, convene partners regularly, share resources among members, and provide peer learning opportunities. The RWDC will survey, and so this survey will assess workforce development needs and opportunities, hold listening sessions with job seekers distributed through targeted mobile marketing campaigns. There will be a needs assessment completed where gaps will be identified in workforce development services, barriers to employment for job seekers, and next steps for potential programs to implement and funding sources to pursue. And then we'll incorporate feedback. And then there'll be the creation of resource hubs, which will be online resource hubs for job seekers and service providers to centralize identified resources, which I believe now are quite disparate, but getting them all together will be one major benefit from this collaborative. And then at the end of the Regional Workforce Development Collaborative, there will be a final report talking about the successes, the challenges, the lessons learned, and next steps, as well as plans for any potential expansion and as well as potential funding sources. Next slide, please. And so things to look forward to and for the RWDC to seek funding to continue convening this collaborative, to identify specific programs and resources needed for job seekers in the subregion, and to develop new workforce development resources for cities and service providers to implement identified programs. Next slide, please. And that's it. I kind of threw a ton of information on three separate areas of focus connected to economic development, workforce development, and fiber. But if there are any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Mr. Lewis, thank you so much for the presentation. It was fantastic. Any questions from the commissioners? Commissioner Hugh? No? Mr. Taglay?
Yeah, a few questions. Thanks, Mr. Lewis, for coming in. I found that presentation really interesting on a few fronts. The regional fiber optic network, definitely much needed with the certainly the digital divide continues to be an issue, and especially with the demand for broadband and the just bandwidth in general for based on consumer behavior these days and streaming and so forth. I'm wondering, what is the relationship with the private companies that manage broadband services and offer them to consumers, like your AT&T, Frontier, and Spectrum? Is there collaboration with these private entities, and if so, what does that look like?
Yeah, that's a good question. My understanding, and I'm not 100% the expert on the fiber program, but my understanding is that this is a state and federal funded fiber backbone network to connect to all of the city halls within the Gateway Cities, the 25 communities of the Gateway Cities subregion. I think that there is an opportunity for each of those cities to decide for themselves how they want to use that. If they want to provide, just strictly for City Hall and for municipal services, or if they want to spread separate systems or separate sub networks connected to each of the residences within the communities. It's sort of a choose your own adventure kind of opportunity for cities in the subregion. I believe that the entities like Frontier and private companies, I think there is an opportunity to partner with them, but I'm not sure what that looks like. And I can actually take that question back and provide a follow-up just so that I don't provide you too much misleading information. Just
Oh, sure. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. And then on the Workforce Development Collaborative, certainly, definitely another worthwhile initiative. We've heard from other entities about their own workforce development. So we've heard in the past meetings from community colleges, chambers of commerce, other county services, and so forth. So how does your workforce development collaborative that you're speaking about with the region relate to, or do they collaborate with any of these other workforce development efforts locally?
yeah, I think, and I'm not sure if we can go back a few slides if that's possible, but I think the idea behind the RWDC is to really get all of the current existing programs and providers of workforce development services and those job seeking to kind of come to the same place to get all of the different resources and make them in a centralized hub. So I think a lot of that, if you would go maybe 2 slides forward. Yeah, so I think the creation of what this does is it's surveying the current workforce development needs and opportunities. So there's going to be listening sessions with current providers of workforce development services. So there are a lot of, like you were mentioning, community colleges provide these types of services. And so getting all of those players at the table, and it's not to duplicate anything that they're already doing, it's just to make sure that all of their services are amplified and can, provide opportunities for collaboration, maybe reduce any kind of overlap and just get everyone to the same table and provide, similar to how the COG performs as a convener. I think this is part of that. So this is with the focus on workforce development, this is the COG sort of getting all of the existing services and service seekers to find a uniform location to seek those services or to provide them.
Great, and I would assume come to the table with similar goals and objectives in mind. So that's great, great collaboration. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tagley. Mr. Lewis, again, thank you for the presentation. Just a couple quick questions. One, you said this was provided by a grant from the Department of Technology, or most of this part from the state of California, with an end date or a final date of December 2026. Are we still on? Do you have any idea if we're still on course for that target date?
Yes. So yes, the grant expires at the end of this year. So the entire project must be completed before the clock strikes midnight on December 31st, 2026. And there are daily and weekly progress update meetings about the various teams and contractors and consultants that are working to install the fiber backbone network. And like I said, it was 25% fully installed as of this time, and it seems to be on target for how the original consultants had planned for the network to be implemented. I think you could definitely say that we are seeing a system being implemented as expected. So I think we will hit that goal and won't have issues with having to have an incomplete system before the deadline.
Fantastic. And it kind of leads into my next question. And to piggyback off what Commissioner Tagle says, there's a huge need going forward for more broadband, more width. When the grant expires in December 2026, is there a way either online, we certainly don't ask you to come back, and we appreciate you here tonight, but that we can access online the final report, any trepidations that may have come across, things that didn't go the way we wanted them to go. I realize, and the reason, being a little selfish, we work for Cerritos, and obviously some cities were first on the list and we're in the last column. We just want to make sure things are up and running before the grant goes away and suddenly everybody disappears and like, okay, what happened? Is there a chance we could access any of those resource hubs or the final report when this project is completed?
Yeah, for sure. And I think the good thing to highlight about this mega project, one of the largest projects of its type in the state, I think it's only the beginning. It's to consider it sort of the first step for each of our communities, because each city is going to be given, free of charge this access to this network. And so this is a huge opportunity for each city to plan how they want their future use of that network and connectivity for residents or for businesses or for municipal services or all three. And so I think there will be several workshops coming up within the next several months. I think maybe in June, the project team is trying to convene cities once, I think maybe for a third time, to kind of encourage all of our cities to start thinking, if they haven't already, and many cities are, including Cerritos, I believe, is already starting to think about the next step of planning to use this network. There are state grants to fund additional plans for how to do a master plan for a single community for broadband and fiber usage. So yes, there will be definitely opportunities to see sort of the lessons learned and the successes of the first phase, but then there will definitely be many, many more opportunities for cities to kind of take those car keys and plug them into the Ferrari and hopefully drive down the road and figure out where you're going to use that high-powered tool for your community.
Fantastic analogy. I was like, yeah, if you buy a brand new Ferrari, you want to take it for a spin.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely. I want to see how it works. So, Mr. Lewis, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving forward. 8B, review and consideration of an information report regarding economic development updates in the city of Cerritos, including building permit activity and ongoing development projects. Ms. Miranda.
Thank you, Chair Reyes. Good evening, Chair and members of the Economic Development Commission. The City of Cerritos continues to experience strong reinvestment across all sectors, reflecting business confidence and community growth. Each effort advances the City Council's strategic plan, goal number 4, strengthen economic development, by maintaining Cerritos' high standards for design, business retention, and balanced growth. Building permit activity continues to reflect positive reinvestment throughout Cerritos. As shown in the table, the city issued 617 permits and finaled 557 permits. April has been the most active month, with 210 permits issued. On average, the city processes approximately 154 permits per month, representing steady construction levels across residential, commercial, and industrial projects. This ongoing activity demonstrates strong private investment in property upgrades, tenant improvements, and new development, further reinforcing the city's economic vitality. Next, I'll provide a brief overview of ongoing development activity throughout Cerritos. These projects enhance quality of life by improving commercial areas, restaurants, and residential neighborhoods while creating local employment opportunities. Additionally, these development projects illustrate continued reinvestment and progress toward achieving the City of Cerritos Strategic Plan Goal Number 4, Strengthen Economic Development. AutoZone is the newest addition to the city's South Street corridor. The project includes significant interior remodeling, facade improvements, and new landscaping. AutoZone is now open, contributing to the ongoing revitalization of the South Street commercial corridor and supporting continued business activity in the area. A remodel project at the Valley Christian High School Stadium continues with significant progress, enhancing both athletic and community use of the facility while maintaining the school's longstanding presence in Cerritos. The project includes new bleachers, a synthetic turf field, and a new rubberized track. The majority of the project improvements have been completed, particularly in the building construction, and remaining work consists primarily of landscape installation, which is anticipated to be completed in spring 2026. The Keystone Plaza Shopping Center is currently under renovation. The City Council approved project incorporates craftsman-style architecture and detailed facade improvements designed to complement the adjacent Cerritos Plaza. Phase 1 of construction is complete, business signage has been reinstalled, and minor landscaping upgrades are in the process of being completed. Phase 2, which involves refacing the Chase Bank building, received plan check approval in November 2025. Permits were issued in April 2026, and construction has begun. As for residential projects, in September 2025, the city approved the development of 2 new single-family residences and 1 accessory dwelling unit near the intersection of Artesia Boulevard and Marquardt Avenue. Previously, this property faced Artesia Boulevard. After construction, access to the homes will be provided along the residential street instead of the large arterial. The homes feature a modern farmhouse architectural style with wood siding and decorative garage doors. Construction is currently underway with foundation, slab, and framing inspections completed in April 2026. Improvements are underway for Angelo's Burgers at the former Boy's Hamburger site. The project includes a new tile roof, refreshed landscaping, and minor interior remodeling. Permits were issued in July 2024, and although construction commenced promptly following the issuance of applicable permits, construction activity at the project site has since slowed. City staff is maintaining communication with the business to ensure the project and all related improvements continue to move forward and are completed in a timely manner. Volvo Cars has joined the Cerritos Auto Square, operating within the existing Volkswagen Cerritos facility. The city recently received revised plans for monument and directional signage improvements associated with the dealership. The signage proposals are currently under review, with additional approvals anticipated in the coming months, further expanding the range of automotive brands available in the Cerritos Auto Square. At 16323 Shoemaker Avenue, plans are underway for a 159,000 square foot industrial facility replacing an older building on site. The project's contemporary design includes decorative panels and stacked stone accents. In March 2026, demolition and grading permits were issued, allowing construction activities to begin at the project site. The Ford Automobile reconditioning facility will serve the existing Ford dealership within the Cerritos Auto Square. The project includes new interior work areas, a customer lounge, and upgraded facade materials. Landscape and parking lot improvements are also included. Building permits were issued in February 2026, and construction is currently underway. Additionally, a permit for the project monument sign was issued in March 2026. The new industrial building at 17600 Crusader Avenue has received all necessary approvals. The 75,000 square foot facility features smooth concrete walls, stone accents, and enhanced landscaping. Grading permits were issued in March 2026, and building permits are anticipated in the coming months. At Edwards Road, 2 existing office buildings will be replaced by a new 58,000 square foot industrial facility. The design features smooth tilt-up concrete walls with decorative stone and contemporary architectural detailing. In January 2026, the city finalized review of civil plans, and staff continues to coordinate with the applicant towards permit issuance. The city is pleased to share that Chick-fil-A restaurant within the Los Cerritos Center is proposing a remodel that includes a new drive-through service canopy, trash enclosure upgrades, and refreshed interior finishes. The design review of the project was completed in December 2025. Signage plans have completed county plan check review, while building improvements remain under city review. The project will enhance functionality while maintaining the site's design quality. Clarkdale Estate Homes, which was approved last year, will bring 5 new 2-story residences, each with an accessory dwelling unit, to Cerritos, close to Norwalk Boulevard and the 91 freeway and Juarez Elementary. The homes feature contemporary architecture and detailed landscaping. Plans are currently under city review, and the project will add high-quality residential options to Cerritos. A conditional use permit amendment has been issued for the property located at 10621 Midway Avenue. The amendment includes site improvements such as new signage, fencing, exterior painting, parking lot restriping, and a new frontage landscaping utilizing water-saving plant material. City staff continues to work with the applicant through the plan review process to address remaining corrections. Tokyo Central, a Japanese specialty grocery store, is proposed within the former Pacific Sales tenant space in Cerritos Town Center. The store will be operated by a team affiliated with Marukai, a well-established Japanese grocery brand in Southern California. The project includes a comprehensive interior remodel to accommodate grocery operations, customer circulation, and updated fixtures, along with minor exterior improvements associated with the build-out. Improvement plans are currently under review by the city, with approvals anticipated in the coming months. Once completed, the project will introduce a unique specialty retail use to the town center area and further enhance the diversity of shopping options available in Cerritos. In October 2025, EOS Fitness assumed operations of the former Gold's Gym location as part of a larger regional acquisition involving 23 locations across Southern California. The transition reflects a broader shift in gym ownership and branding within the region. The city received a business license application in January 2026 to continue operations under the new ownership. The application is currently under conditional approval status, while wall signage permits are under review. Amazon Fresh operated in Cerritos for approximately 5 years, introducing a technology-driven grocery concept at the time of opening. The store closed in March 2026 as part of the company's broader evaluation of its grocery operations. At this time, the future of the space has not been determined. Staff is actively coordinating with the property owner to provide support and discuss potential opportunities for the property. The city is pleased to share that Ono Hawaiian Barbecue is planned for the Cerritos Town Center and will occupy 2 existing vacant tenant spaces. The project includes interior reconfiguration for kitchen, dining, and restroom areas, along with installation of new building systems and equipment. Permits for landlord improvements were issued in February 2026, and construction is currently underway. Tenant improvement plans are anticipated to be submitted following completion of the landlord work. In January 2026, the Cerritos City Council approved the creation of Area Development Plan 20, or ADP 20, for the commercial shopping center located at the southwest corner of Bloomfield Avenue and South Street. The zoning update was completed in response to implications related to Assembly Bill 2011 and allows for both commercial and residential uses at the subject property. In April 2026, the city received demolition plans for the former Caro's Restaurant building located at 19011 Bloomfield Avenue. The demolition is proposed in conjunction with ground remediation efforts intended to prepare the site for future development opportunities. While no formal development application has been submitted at this time, staff continues to receive inquiries from prospective residential developers expressing interest in the property following demolition activities. In April 2026, a demolition permit for the former Sears building was issued for landlord improvements to prepare a ready-to-develop tenant pad for the former 277,500 square foot retail store site, auto center, and associated parking area. Demolition of the Sears building is currently underway, marking the beginning of the expansion of Los Cerritos Center, which over time will include a mix of new commercial and residential uses. Upon receipt of a comprehensive design package for a new tenant building, the city will commence its design review and continue coordinating with the property owner to facilitate review of the proposed project. In conclusion, the level of development activity throughout Cerritos reflects continued confidence from businesses, property owners, and investors in the city's long-term strength and stability. These projects modernize the built environment, enhance the city's appeal, and generate new employment opportunities. The city remains focused on maintaining high-quality design standards, supporting business partnerships, and advancing projects that align with the City Council's strategic goals. Collectively, these efforts reinforce Cerritos' leadership in economic development and ensure the community's sustained prosperity and quality of life. At this time, it is recommended that the Commission review and discuss the information provided and receive and file this report. This concludes my presentation. At this time, staff is available to answer any questions that the commissioners may have. Thank you.
Miss Miranda, that was excellent. That was utterly fantastic. I wish more residents could just take a look at this and see how much work, building, and permit activity we have going on in the city, and what a fantastic job that city staff is doing in maintaining our way of life here in the city of Cerritos. Any questions for the commissioner from the commissioners? Commissioner Hugh?
Yes, I do one. You know, I feel bad that I saw Amazon Fresh is closed because this store was approved when I was on the council. So anyway, do we have any idea or discussing about what would be good, you know, a store or company or something to fit this area, this Amazon Fresh building?
Thank you for the question, Commissioner Hu. At this time, a new incoming tenant has not been determined, and Amazon has not yet determined the future of the space. However, city staff is proactively working with the property owner to offer assistance and discuss potential options for the property, as well as continued business outreach and business attraction efforts for the space. The city's goal is to always, fill vacancies as they become available and continue to seek businesses and tenants that will help provide sales tax generation.
Okay. If I were the owner, I would, consider to build like, condo residential units on this building. So they will generate a lot of income. Remember, this store was Toys R Us building long time ago. When that time the Toys R Us building was on the market for sale, actually I was thinking to purchase it that time. But later I was on the council. I stopped thinking that. But I think maybe would suggest the property owner to consider build a residential units there, so they would They will make very good income. Yeah, because right now I don't think another supermarket will fit that building. We have too many supermarkets right now in Cerritos. So, but I don't know what the city staff thinking about. What's your suggestion to build on that site? Do you have any idea?
Yes, thank you for the comments, Commissioner Hu. At this time, staff is reaching out to a variety of different tenants, prospective businesses that we feel would be a great fit. However, since there is no specific tenant that has submitted anything concrete, we don't have additional details at this time. However, the city is always reaching out and seeking tenants that would be a great addition to the Cerritos business community and something that would be viable for the space.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hugh. Commissioner Tagle.
Thank you, Chair Reyes. Yeah, wonderful news in this report. Thank you, Ms. Miranda. Very encouraging to see, even just from the top, the building permits issued and the uptake on that is great news. I'm wondering, and this might be just overly general, so excuse me for that. There's so many different cases and different types of businesses, and some are new, some are continuing just redevelopment efforts. But we touched on this in early meetings, like how are we doing in terms of the ease of a business to get started from the time they apply for a permit to the time that that permit is approved versus ultimately when they can actually develop and open the business? Are we on par with other surrounding cities? I mean, some of these, again, not to be overly generous, some of these are pretty long time horizons. They first applied for a business permit in like post-pandemic 2021, 2022, and still have not yet opened the business. Is that typical? How do we compare? Are we making things easier or harder for businesses? Like, where do we stack up, I guess, is in terms of that, the permitting process for prospective businesses to come in? Clearly, some of them are working. So where do we rank, I guess, compared to other areas, other cities?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for the question, Commissioner Tagle. So as you had mentioned, while projects are at different stages of the development process, as mentioned in the report, there's a reflection of a broad range of projects, some that have completed improvements under construction, some in plan check, and some are nearing permit issuance. Staff definitely prides itself on working closely with applicants and making ourselves available. We do have our city ombudsman program, which whenever a city business is interested in coming to the city, whether they're just initially reaching out or if they're ready to submit their application, city staff does make themselves available to move them through the process as quickly as possible. As far as timeline, every business license and permit application is unique. It depends on the existing space, if it's a similar use or if it's a different use, if there's additional building checks and building inspections that need to take place. So while there is no exact timeline of what one business might take to get from step A to step Z of the entire approval process, we do ensure that we are working closely with the applicant to return any comments or any approvals back to them so that the projects can continue moving forward.
And clearly we're given all of these openings and redevelopment efforts, we're doing quite well. So I asked that for future consideration because, as we're all quite aware, the economy changes fast, and during the time somebody applies for a permit and are developing, they may or may not. They may have second thoughts based on where the economy is headed and where they're at now. Who knew the gas prices would be what they are today when some of these folks have. So it's a tricky situation. So I applaud the community development department and all of your work and all of your team's work there. Very interested to see all these developments. One specific question, because I always get asked about the very high-profile projects around the city, is the Sears site, I know that there had been some discussion and conjecture about turning that into, you mentioned housing or tenancy, which speaks to apartments. I know that there have been talk about potential hotel usage or hotel and meeting space or what have you, which again, I'm always looking at revenue for the city, and that would be the type of business I think that could most drive revenue, and given its proximity to retail space. So I'm wondering if that is still in play, or if that whole, when you're saying that it's targeted for tenancy, does that imply strictly apartment rentals, or I guess what's at play or potential possibilities, I guess, still for that space?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the question. So as of right now, there are no official plans that have been published or released by the property owner. However, staff does maintain close communication with Macerich, which is at the Los Cerritos Center. And as of right now, the plan is still over time to include a mix of new commercial and residential uses. So that is still a possibility at the former Sears parcel at Los Cerritos Center.
And when is Macerich, what is their timeline, I guess, for making decisions on are we still talking years out? I know those are quite lengthy projects, and given the size of the space.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the question. So as of right now, the city has not received the comprehensive design package for the tenant building. So as far as a timeline, we are working with the applicant. So we don't have an exact end date, but it is moving, as I'm sure you have seen, and through the PowerPoint presentation, the demolition is underway. So there is progress and strides being made, and the city will be sure to commence an expeditious design review as soon as the full package is received.
Yeah, it's quite visible when we go by the mall. So thank you very much, Ms. Miranda.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Taglay. And again, yeah, it seems that most of our citizens are concerned. I wouldn't say concerned, they're anxious to see what we're going to do at the Sears parcel, as we have been for 12, 14 years now. So we're excited about that. So I'll ask one simple question, and this does not necessarily come from a Cerritos resident. With respect to the Angelo's Burgers, Ono Hawaiian, and Tokyo Central, I just want to make sure we're on a timeline to get those done in an expeditious fashion. And that question comes from my stomach. So
Thank you for the question, Chair Reyes. Yes, we are excited to welcome our new tenants. As you mentioned, Ono Hawaiian, they are one of our newer tenants that we are looking forward to having open. As of right now, construction is currently underway and anticipated to be completed in fall of this year. So we are making way.
fantastic, thank you. And again, please commend city staff. I think we can all have consensus on this, that we see these building permit activities, we see the way Cerritos is growing, and that's really, maybe not for everyone, but for those of us who work in economics and marketing and our business owners, this is what we get excited about. We get excited about city staff and the private sector and the business community, working with our allies in gateway cities and other places, and just driving revenue in Cerritos, driving businesses in Cerritos. So I think if you can tell city staff on behalf of the commission, that was a great report. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. All right. 8C, review and consideration of an informational report regarding recent city Cerritos Business Recognition Program recipients. Ms. Miranda.
Thank you, Chair Reyes. The City of Cerritos continues to recognize local businesses that contribute to the community and local economy through the Mayor's Business Recognition Program and Business Spotlight Program. These efforts support the City of Cerritos' strategic plan, goal number 4, strengthen economic development, by promoting local businesses, encouraging continued patronage, and highlighting the strength and diversity of Cerritos' business community. The Mayor's Business Recognition Program highlights businesses for their community presence, contribution to the local business environment, and engagement within Cerritos. The Business Spotlight Program focuses on long-standing Cerritos businesses, that have demonstrated continued service to the community and local economy over time. Together, these programs promote civic pride, increase awareness of local establishments, and support broader business retention and economic development efforts. The three most recently recognized businesses include Silver Lake Ramen Cerritos, Islands Restaurant Cerritos, and Chick-fil-A Cerritos. These business recipients were recognized at recent Cerritos City Council meetings and reflect a combination of community presence, long-standing service, and local engagement. On December 11, 2025, Silver Lake Ramen Cerritos was recognized as the Mayor's Business Recognition Program recipient at the Cerritos City Council meeting. Established in 2012, Silver Lake Ramen has grown into a multi-state restaurant brand while maintaining a local presence in Cerritos since May 2021. The Cerritos location serves a broad customer base, including families, students, and the surrounding workforce population, and has also participated in community activities such as programs at Cerritos Elementary School and the Japanese Language School of Cerritos. At this time, I would like to turn your attention to the screen as staff presents the Silver Lake Ramen Cerritos Business Spotlight video.
I'm Cerritos Mayor Frank Aurelio Yokoyama, and I'm here with the owner of Silver Lake Ramen Cerritos, Joanne Kong. Silver Lake Ramen Cerritos has been serving ramen and other delicious dishes to Cerritos residents and visitors for 5 years now.
Cerritos is a really good location for business, I do believe, especially restaurant business. I love Cerritos.
Yeah.
I didn't know well before, but right now it's more love
Yeah.
Cerritos.
Now you are always a Cerritos family
Yes, I am.
because of your many years in Cerritos. And
Yeah.
you know, again, just coming here, I just love this mural that you've had
yeah?
here in your restaurant,
Yes.
making it clear that to everybody that we're in Cerritos,
Oh,
and this
thank
is
you.
Silver Lake Ramen Cerritos. Cerritos residents, please support local businesses and restaurants here in Cerritos, like Silver Lake Ramen Cerritos.
Yes.
Our next recipient, Islands Restaurant Cerritos, was recognized through the Business Spotlight program at the March 9, 2026 Cerritos City Council meeting. Founded in 1982, Islands Restaurant is a long-standing Southern California casual dining brand with a location in the Cerritos Town Center that serves residents and visitors as a neighborhood dining destination. Beyond its restaurant operations, Islands Restaurant Cerritos maintains active engagement within the community through participation in events hosted by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Cerritos Station and support for youth-focused initiatives at the Cerritos Library. At this time, I would like to turn your attention to the screen as staff presents the Islands Restaurant Cerritos Business Spotlight video.
Welcome to Cerritos Islands. So Islands is a fast dining restaurant. We are a combination of a dine-in and a bar. We serve a variety of different burgers, salads, and tacos, and we also have different types of beverages. So we are located in the Cerritos Town Center. Our company started way back in May 1982. This particular location opened in the year of 2017. So we're close proximity to Sheraton Hotel and Cerritos Performing Arts Theater, and it benefits us because it brings a lot of business to our restaurant. What makes Islands unique is the hospitality that we provide our guests and also the delicious food that we serve as well. Our restaurant has about 51 tables. We have a bar area. We also have a beautiful patio area. We could accommodate big groups in here. We accept big reservations as well. And one thing that we're really big on is creating experience that brings guests back.
Our most recent recipient, Chick-fil-A Cerritos, was recognized through the Business Spotlight program at the March 23rd, 2026 Cerritos City Council meeting. Founded in 1946, Chick-fil-A has grown into a national quick service restaurant brand, and its Cerritos presence dates back to an earlier food court location within Los Cerritos Center during the early 1980s. The current restaurant at 18605 Gridley Road continues that local presence and reflects the company's operator model, which emphasizes community partnerships, school fundraising support, and participation in local events. At this time, I am pleased to present the Chick-fil-A Cerritos Business Spotlight video.
Chick-fil-A is a quick service restaurant, individually owned and operated by operators like myself. And we're known for our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches, our waffle fries, and our genuine hospitality. So back in 1946, our founder, Truett S. Cathy, he founded a restaurant. It was a small diner at that time called the Dwarf Grill. Then in 1967, he opened up the first Chick-fil-A in the Greenbrier Mall in Atlanta. One thing that's unique about this specific Chick-fil-A in the city of Cerritos is that we were the first mall location in SoCal. When Chick-fil-A began, we were all in malls, and that was the only concept we had. So we started out in the 80s in the mall, and we worked our way out to the freestanding, I believe in 2007. We established something out here in the West. Bringing it here and Cerritos being our first choice is really cool. We're also in the midst of a remodel, and so the city has been fantastic in helping us out. Getting all the permits that we need and all the things that we want approved, they've just been a really good partner to do business with. A couple things that makes Chick-fil-A unique. I think that it's individually owned and operated. I think oftentimes we may think that the corporation owns it, but no, these are actually people that live in the cities that they're operating in, and I think that's huge when it goes to community partnerships and just the way that the business is run, because they're tailoring it to the city and the community that they live in. And then secondly, it's just our genuine hospitality. Our customer service goes above and beyond, and we want to make sure that every guest is taken care of.
Overall, the city's recent business recognition efforts highlight 3 local businesses that contribute to Cerritos' community character and local economy. The business recipients reflect the type of continued service, community presence, and local engagement the city's programs are intended to recognize. Together, these efforts support broader business retention goals and advance the City of Cerritos Strategic Plan Goal Number 4, Strengthen Economic Development. At this time, it is recommended that the Commission review and discuss the information provided and receive and file this report. This concludes my presentation. At this time, staff is available to answer any questions that the Commissioners may have. Thank you.
No question.
Thank you, Ms. Miranda. No questions from Commissioner Hugh. Any questions from Commissioner Tagle?
Well, yeah, real quick. Yeah, these are great. How do businesses get nominated? Can they nominate themselves, or can a resident nominate them for these recognitions? I mean, I'm sure many businesses would qualify for such spotlight.
Yes, thank you for the question, Commissioner Tagle. So, the two different programs, first I'll start with the Business Spotlight program. So, the city does have policy number 7.02, which states that Cerritos-based businesses are considered for recognition based on criteria including total number of years operating within Cerritos, contribution and partnerships with the city of Cerritos, and referral by an elected official or community group, as well as outstanding business conduct within Cerritos. As far as the mayor's business recognition program, similarly, the business recipients are brought forward for consideration. In this case, it would be brought forward by the mayor, and the city manager's office coordinates with city staff and the mayor regarding potential business nominations and recognition at a city council meeting.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Ms. Miranda, again, thank you. Fantastic report. I'm getting an idea. And again, I'm certainly not going to step on the mayor or the council's toes or city staff's toes because I'll get in trouble. I'll get an angry email from my boss, the mayor. But I was thinking maybe as an economic development commission, we could try out a restaurant a month and then bring it back and recommend it to our fellow citizens in Cerritos. You know, and if we all can't go, then I'm more than willing to go to every restaurant by myself and
You
eat-
pay for it.
and I will pay for it. If you haven't figured out by now, I'm an eater. I'm an eater and I like to eat. And so that's no, these are the kind of things where I can speak specifically to all three of those. Silver Lake is fantastic. Chick-fil-A is fantastic. As you well know, I'm a sponsor at our theater here in Cerritos. There's several evenings where we've had dinner and my friends had dinner at Islands. We parked our car there. We walked across the street to the theater, enjoyed the show, came back and partook in some more food at Islands afterwards. So again, these are all great businesses. I cannot stress enough how important it is for us as residents to support our city. Please shop and dine Cerritos as much as humanly possible. I give my highest recommendation to Silver Lake, Islands, and Chick-fil-A. And if anybody else would like my recommendation, I would love to go to their restaurant and eat there too. So thank you again, Ms. Miranda. All right, moving on. Reports.
No report.
9A, reports from designated commission staff liaison. Ms. Miranda.
Thank you, Chair Reyes. No items to report tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Miranda. 9B, reports from Economic Development Commission members.
No report tonight.
No report from Commissioner Hugh. Commissioner Tagle.
No, real quick, I'll just touch on a few events I've attended since we last convened. First being the 70th anniversary event for Cerritos, which quite well attended, even though there were weather challenges that day, both for the statue unveiling here at City Hall, as well as the spring fling with the fireworks. Good to see the recognition for the city there, and it's encouraging the attendance figures that we've seen for these recent events. So, and I saw that for the first time there's a 5K being organized with the city for part of the 70th anniversary. I'm excited about that. Plan to run in that. But I know I don't think there's been a 5K here for quite some time, if ever. So that's good to see. Secondly, was the Economic Development Forum at Cerritos Sheraton. So thank you, Ms. Miranda, for the invitation there and for sending the presentation as well. I think some good takeaways there. It was encouraging to see that an economist in that organization, a bank in the area, chose Cerritos as the location for that talk, and it was an important one. I think a lot of lessons to be learned. I won't recap all of it. I would encourage the commission to review the presentation. But clearly, there's a lot of macroeconomic activity affecting our city, state, country, and the world, frankly, that have trickle-down effects here. I think that was the biggest takeaway, is that we're at City of Cerritos. We've got a lot of things going, as evidenced by tonight, but certainly not immune to what's going on in the world around us. There were a lot of trends, both national and state, that I think we need to continue to be aware of. Gas prices was the most glaring example of that, but the trickle-down effect on all parts of the economy. And California with the elections coming up there as well. and just, without getting in too deep, obviously the consumer confidence and consumer perception versus the reality of what economic indicators show is not always in alignment. Let's just put it that way. So I'd encourage the rest of the commission to review that. You being an economist, Chair Reyes, maybe you know all of that already, but yeah, it's just, we're in unique times here. Gas prices in the sixes and maybe hopefully not, but going higher. I mean, these are very challenging. You mentioned inflation, obviously. So things that we need to keep an eye on and know that all of these are when we taste, shop, and dine in Cerritos, visiting Cerritos, potentially living in Cerritos. These are folks who are not currently in Cerritos, but all of these macroeconomic factors that, impact their lives and their families. And we want them to continue to come to Cerritos. So we want to do our part, as a city to make sure we're cognizant of all this and that we're serving our citizens and aware of all these macro factors in the economy that will impact us going forward. But yeah, thank you for the invitation for that. And if there are any more events that Cerritos can participate in, I'm more than happy to partake. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tagle. Yeah, I certainly am not going to end this meeting on a bum note, but we do have to.
Sorry about that.
No, not at all, not at all, Commissioner. But we do have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Macroeconomics are not ideal right now. Again, part of my job is as not just as chairman, obviously, but as a member of this commission, is to give the mayor and the vice mayor and the associate council members the best advice I can. And I don't think it takes a rocket scientist or an economist. It's simply since the start of this year, core inflation has gone up from 2.3 to 3.8, which came out I think yesterday or on this past weekend. A 1.5% jump in core inflation is not ideal by anybody's metric. And more bad news on that front, core inflation does not include gasoline, energy prices / groceries. So when you factor that in, people feel the pain. I feel the pain. I think everybody on this commission sympathizes with Cerritos residents and what they're going through. So that's clearly not ideal. And the sooner that trade routes, supply lines are reopened up on a macro level, as Commissioner Tagle was saying, the better off we're all going to be. However, having said that, and you've heard me say this for years and decades that I've lived here, there's nothing wrong with Cerritos, and I'm paraphrasing President Clinton. There's nothing wrong with Cerritos that can't be fixed by what is right with Cerritos. We all have to pull together, and it's going to be tough in the short term. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for anybody, not the citizens, not the mayor. But as Ms. Miranda showed in her presentation, as the speakers have shown month after month, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We are getting there. We are getting to the other side. And as long as we can all hang together, we should be fine. I always tell people to hang together no matter what. As Ben Franklin once said, we must hang together, or most assuredly, we will hang separately. And if you don't have a background in the American Revolution, that's something to look up on Wikipedia tonight. But I'm completely excited about this city. I wouldn't have taken this job. I wouldn't have volunteered to do the things that I do and go out and talk to businesses and talk to Grace and talk to Commissioner Tagle and Commissioner Chang and meet with people if I didn't think that we are positioned for long-term growth. And that is ultimately the goal. Ultimately, the goal is that in the long term, we are all better off. Moment to moment, day to day, if you read the economic data, it'll drive you crazy. But I think as we set ourselves up for long-term growth, as Ms. Miranda's reports showed, we continue to set ourselves up for long-term growth. There is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. So on that positive note, and please go support the theater. John Legend is coming. For those of you who, if you didn't get tickets, they are sold out. If you nag me enough, I will ask Jeff Thelke, our executive director, to see if we can book him for one more night. But even at those prices, which were extreme, and I got 2 tickets, they sold out. And we covered our artist costs, and we're going to get a cut of the merchandising and a cut of the ticket sales. I mean, a cut of the alcohol and food and beverage sales. Not to mention Islands and Wood Ranch are going to do quite well that night. They're going to have a lot of business. It's usually a 30% bump on nights the theater has shows in the theater. And to Jeff and his staff, they're doing a tremendous job with half the staff. We had twice the staff 10 years ago, and now the theater's down to half that number. So they're doing a great job, as all city staff is. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for your information. We couldn't do our job if you guys didn't do your job. So that's credit to everybody here, and let's keep this thing going and go team. All right. Having said that, if there's nothing else, we're going to adjourn for the evening. Good night and good luck. Meeting adjourned.